Hello, everyone. My name is Ruben Cantu, and I am the CEO of Elements. It stands for Leadership, Management, Neural Networks, Technology, and Social Impact. And we have a information session that we'd love to deliver to you today about our great program that's moving into its third cohort called the Frontera Leadership Institute. And we actually have some of our alumni here present with us right now. And so if you are in the other room, can you just wave your hands and say hello? Yes,
Hello.
to you all.
Oh,
Yes, thank you very
yes.
much. So, as we're recording this, for those people who weren't able to attend, we'll make this an interactive session so that we all can participate and share a little bit insight about our experience about being in the program. So let's go ahead and get started. So a little bit about me, without having to go in depth of like my whole history, there's a couple key things I want to spotlight. I've always loved helping people. It's one of my passions. It's what lights me up. I didn't know that was going to show up in the form of teaching. I took on teaching officially about 10 years ago, when we started working with high school students. And then from there, we started working with college students in building out our first social impact accelerator, and then focused on college students, a career accelerator for them. And my background is I'm actually tied to the Rio Grande Valley. My family's from there. My dad was born and raised there as well. And I have a background in technology, in the creative arts, in social work and philanthropy. And I have a deep passion, like I said in the beginning, of trying to help uplift our communities generations onward. So that's a little bit about me. And I love music. So if you ever want to chop it up about music, I'd love to talk to you about that too. So, what is Frontera Leadership Institute? Essentially, Frontera Leadership Institute is a program that is designed and catered to young people between the ages of 18 to 26, roughly speaking, that have a desire to develop themselves as professional leaders, executives, and people who want to go into tech. Do all of our students go into tech? No, not all of them. Some of them may actually start nonprofits or help run campaigns or go do amazing things in a community. Either way, the skills that are learned here through product management, entrepreneurship, and executive leadership help our students move forward. We want to be the premier incubator for transformative leaders, and we want to be accessible to all people in the Brownsville area. And as we expand, we want to expand this program beyond Brownsville as well. We really want to help the individual who's part of our program learn how to learn and learn how to solve really wicked problems. And so therefore we put them into a essentially incubator where they have to learn how to go about this process. So the people that you see also on the Zoom call, on the other side, are some of our former alumni from our last semester and the semester before. So thank you very much for joining us on that. So a quick recap and summary. Back in 2013, uh, about 5 years after the Great Crash, we call the Great Recession, I was really impassioned. I was frustrated, but then I became impassioned about figuring out how we could do business that actually cared about people. Instead of doing business so that I could just make a lot of money and take care of myself, I realized I would only be part of the problem if I continued doing that. But if we created businesses that actually had a moral obligation to its community and its people, we might actually create businesses that were sustainable over time, and that we wouldn't be trying to be just led by greed, but be led by purpose of supporting humanity. So we started Austin's first social impact incubator back in 2013 in Austin, Texas, obviously. In 2015, after running it for 3 years, we spun out a high school version, and we partnered with the Austin Independent School District and South by Southwest, and we ran that for a couple of years. In 2016, we debuted a college version, and it was targeted to 18 to roughly 25, 26 years old. And we were targeting first generation college students. What I mean by first generation, not just first generation to America, first generation to college. And so those two things can be true at the same time. We wanted to reach people who had never had the opportunity or the privilege to actually get higher education and uplift their life and upgrade their lives and improve their lifestyle. So the Level Up Institute was a career accelerator and a startup incubator combined into one. It was a 3-month program, and we taught them how to build companies from scratch, not knowing anything about business. And it was successful. Many of our students, as you see on the screen, have gone on to work at tech companies, making over six-figure salaries, becoming homeowners, having families. And I just recently sat down with Joseph, who you see on the right-hand side on the first photo in the plaid. He is now working at a big tech company that's got bought out by Cisco and doing program management and has a family and has his own house and has previously worked like it stints like as the mayor's assistant, mayor of Austin's assistant. Some of them are working and got their MBAs. Some of them are working at Microsoft. Others are working at the city of Austin, and some of them are startup founders. It's amazing on the work that they've become in just a short amount of time and what was able to be possible. These are the similar stories that we've continued on after all these years. And I can't wait to share with you some of the stories that we have in this room with some of our alumni who have come to visit us. 2 years later, after launching that program, the University of Texas called and they said, we want you to take that program and incubate it and build it bigger inside the University of Texas. So we did that. And inside the Division of Diversity and Community Engagement, we built a platform and we built 2 programs. The one called Product Prodigy Institute and a second one called Wield Texas, which was targeted for women of color to understand leadership and entrepreneurship. So with those 2 programs, we were able to help serve hundreds of students across campus and teach them the skills of entrepreneurship and leadership. It was really an honor of a lifetime. And this program, Product Prodigy Institute, not only did it teach product management, but it got recognized nationally by winning a national championship award with the Hispanic Serving Institutions Battle of the Brains back in 2023. We're really proud of the students that participated in that competition. So let's go a little bit deeper as we take a break or a breather and focus on the program structure. What does it mean? Well, we offer classes on Fridays and Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. I chose that time because that's usually when people are awake and their brains are working the best, and they can make sure that they arrive on time, and then we can finish in the afternoon, and they have the rest of the day to go and do things for themselves. We also chose Fridays and Saturdays because people work, and often it's hard for them to try to manage their schedule. So we felt that Fridays they might be off from class or from work, or they might have some flexibility in their schedule to attend. And Saturdays, most people sometimes do have to work, but they can usually try to figure that out. If you have an interest in participating, let us know. We can figure something out. But those are our class times and schedules, and we do them in live in person, so that we love for your participation to be in the cohort present in class. Second thing, some classes will be online, meaning I sometimes travel, and so we'll be doing this via Zoom, but as much as we can, we'll try to be there in person. You are required to do teamwork. You're actually put inside of teams, and we don't choose the teams. You get to choose your own teams. You get to choose your own idea of what you build out, and you get to learn how to embrace conflict and navigate through that struggle so that you can build out something more successful over time. And so, what do you end up at the end of it? Well, you do end up getting a certificate in product management if you complete all the assignments and all the requirements for the program, like attendance and showing up on time. But you also get to showcase amongst investors and the community at what we call Demo Day. It's our big showcase where we invite lots of people to fill a room in, and they come and hear you. So think about it as a Shark Tank, but we call it Demo Day as a demonstration day. And so we look forward to that. This is sometimes something new for people because they've never spoken in public before. And we set you up for success several weeks ahead of time so that you're ready to do that. And you can be successful in doing that same thing. What are we covering? We are covering a lot in a short amount of time. This 12 to 13 week program actually is a very high paced, condensed program from our 1 year, which really was a 2 year program. We trimmed off the first year from the Product Prodigy Institute and we shrunk it and then supercharged it. And you're getting the best of the best in 3 months. And we take you through the ability to understand entrepreneurship, do your personal self-discovery. What is product management and its fundamentals? What is lean startup and how do you validate a product? How do you build a product inside of a team? How do you build design sprints? What is agile development? How do you prototype? And then how do you improve the user experience? And finally, what does it take to actually launch a product and then finally pitch it? We cover that and much more in the program, and we're happy to share a syllabus with you when and if you're ready. Our impact and achievement over time is amazing. Not only did I tell you earlier that we became national champions, but our other sister program, Wheel Texas, was also recognized by the United Nations for a Promise Award about 2 years ago as well. Many of our students continue into following semesters as when we ran them at UT. And as you can see, many of our students continue to stick around because they want to be part of the community to continue learning. I really want to recognize the Rio Grande Delta Fellowship as this example of them continuing the work that we started way back several months ago, and saying we want to build this community, we want to uplift our resources together. So how do we do that? So we also want to say that the alumni is something that we're really heavily invested in. And so the Rio Grande Delta Fellowship is an example of that. And we want to continue providing courses and support for following alumni so that it becomes more than just one program. It becomes a force of a community making an impact. So what's happened? A lot of our students, when they finish, they have been able to go out there and get startup funding, which we're really thankful for, whether it be grant funding or actual investment. And we're really thankful for them. We're really thankful that that's actually happened to them, and we wish them the best of luck. They still stick around. Some of them come back and teach class for our future cohorts, and that's really great. So many of them get jobs and go work in tech, such as Dell, Oracle, Google, and the list goes on. And at the core of it, you're like, well, there's already entrepreneurship courses. Why should I take this? There's already courses in leadership. Why should I take this? There's already courses in product management to a degree. Why should I take this? It's not only the combination of those three things, but you really learn how to look at leadership from a heart-centered perspective, and you're able to expand yourself from being focused just on a leader as an individual to a leader who can see things at a global level. So not only do you step outside of yourself, you step into your community and you start building a global perspective as well. So we want to just recognize all the amazing students that have gone through the program, and we're happy to share more of their stories in our newsletter and our social media as time comes along. So as I said early in the beginning of the program, what are we looking for? We're looking for people who are between 18 to 26 years old in Brownsville. We love for them to have some level of college experience. Why do we ask that? Because the program is designed at a college level, meaning that if you have not experienced a college course, it's going to be a little challenging. And we don't want to be behind you asking you if you have turned in your homework. This is not a high school program. And we want to make sure that you move at the rate of everyone else. And we're able to help you actually get an idea out of your brain or your team's brain and get it out to the market. Why do we want to do that? Whether that program becomes successful or that product becomes successful or not, or that company becomes successful or not, is not the case. Yes, we want to create jobs, but we want you to build the muscle memory and the experience so that it doesn't matter if you're on your 5th company, your 10th company, or your 20th company. The goal is that you've learned enough to be able to help yourself and help others be entrepreneurs and build entrepreneurship in your community. And in doing so, you make the world a better place because now you give people the ability not just to eat a fish, but you teach them how to fish. We're also looking for people who are ready to step up into leadership and understand that their development is a direct correlation to their community's development. And so the more they develop themselves, the more they can serve their community. It is, like I said, rigorous. So we need you to make sure that you can keep up with your homework and you can keep in dialogue with your team because they're going to require a lot of your time. And you ask how much time? Sometimes I see teams taking about 20 hours a week to make sure their idea gets forward. It depends on the time of the semester. Towards the end, it really does kick up because they're like, "Oh my God, we got to get something out of the gate." But we have a lot of support and help to make sure help you do that. And finally, we're looking for people who have a level of discernment and are mature, meaning that your ability to show up and be ready to play ball is going to make a difference for everyone because you work inside of a team. And if you're not ready to actually play ball, it's going to be harder because people are going to be moving faster than you. And you might get left behind because you're not following up or passing the ball back and forth. if that figuratively makes sense. So these are photos of our opening retreat that we had in our first cohort. You might recognize some people in these photos. It was a lovely time. Each cohort gets an opportunity at no cost to go for a 3-day retreat where they get to actually learn how to be a team. They come in as strangers and they leave as a family. And in a second, I'm gonna turn it over to our alumni who are in the room to also share a little bit about their experience and how it's been. But through this, we've been able to actually help them understand the mechanics of team building, conflict management, and actually how to create a movement. So I'm really thankful for their participation and the transformative experiences that we've had here in Brownsville. So with that being said, I'd like to be able to turn it over to some of our alumni who's in the room at the moment and see if we can get them to share a little bit. So right now on the screen, you see Martin Cuevas. He said, this program has surrounded me with people who are like-minded and wanting to revitalize the community. This program has revitalized my spirit and my desire to want more for the people of the Valley. Karina said, this program has reinforced my understanding of what I thought was a good leadership and how it feels to be led by someone who understands good leadership. And Alondra Vela said, I was able to learn how to work in a team, be able to know how to communicate, and learn how to be leaders within a group without overpowering anyone or making anyone feel bad. So really cool ideas that they shared. I have Angie, Martin, and Albert in this room at the moment, but I also have other alumni like Damien, Andre, and Juan and Tony in the room. You might not be able to see them, but I'd like to just throw out to them to see if they want to share like a minute or two about their experience so that people who are watching this can also take it upon themselves and hear from real alumni who are still committed and involved with the organization. So I'll pass it on to you all.
So that's our first major thing that you kind of find through the program is there's a lot of sense of camaraderie. There's a lot of strangers that quickly become friends and family that long term you can build something with. That's like the first thing I came to realize. When you're going through this work kind of alone and you're trying to figure out how to like make something for yourself alone, you realize how difficult it actually is. That kind of mindset is very limiting and lonely. And so once you start building a network of individuals who want to really build something together, something to really improve the community around you, uh, long term it builds something good for you. Like I feel more fulfilled as a person having gone through this program than before.
Literally, like on the second day, we all shed tears to each other. Like no one has seen. If you say that, like a lot of people, most of us were introverts.
Yeah.
We became into extroverts literally at the third day.
Yeah.
We knew everyone's names. Literally, like it's crazy. This guy right here,
Quiet.
literally, he would not even speak a word. After 3 months, no. After 3 months, he started talking.
Oh yeah, 100%.
His yeah.
It's he's a mess.
Um,
And the program really changes your perspective a lot of what community and leadership really means, what it is, and how the things you learn in the program actually work, right? When you put the effort into trying a different approach towards business, and not only just for the sense of money, but the sense of people and to take care of the people around you, that gets you more fulfilling than just a dead material that most people value. But it was able to change that perspective and to continue leading that way and not going back to the money hungry way that I thought before. Now that's true success. So
this guy would in the retreat. Well, told everyone to wake up at 6 a.m. just to go run.
Oh my god, I remember.
Why?
But he would ask us like
Oh, like let's go. I'm like, no, we're gonna go sleep.
I was gone.
Locked out.
Yeah.
This guy was my savior. And the crazy part about it too.
It was 60 degrees outside and you wanted to
Yeah,
go run.
I wanted to.
We were freezing.
It was already like 12.
Yeah.
And this guy says, I heard a knock at the door, but I didn't want to open it. And then he just decided to open it. I was like, yeah, you almost left me outside.
I don't know. Could have been.
Damien, do you want to say something or Juan?
I want to say for my experience, it's, I was, going through a lot. If it wasn't for him and Edward, then I still would have been in the same position as I was, and having no confidence in myself, like even self-esteem as well. As to everything that I went through, like I was ready to give up until he convinced me, to come and try out for the Frontera Leadership Institute. So giving it a try, like being so hard-headed and coming in, like I didn't know anyone until, even Leslie that came, was the only person, who I like, bonded with. And then later on it was other people, who did leave early, and then Angie and Albert I already knew before even coming here. Us being the first two that she got to, be accepted here. So thank you so much, Ruben. So I want to say, not only has it changed my life of, not only loving myself even more, but also like seeing the value of what is better for the community, or what can we do to make it stronger than what it is. There's a lot of cries, laughters going on in that institute. Oh my goodness.
Emotions.
Even the madness as well. But hey, we all graduated with a certificate of a product management, and we've learned a lot. And mostly, yeah, I'm sure some of us still want to like, come back and still help continue this like growth from what it is.
Just some advice. Take clothes.
Take clothes.
Take
Oh,
clothes. I had extra
No
clothes.
hot water there.
There's Ruben, we gotta tell these employees to run that hot water. Like it was nothing. It was all warm, and then it was cold.
as much you talking about it, man, I remember what it felt like, what it
It
smelled
was
like.
cold.
I
It was
bone shiver
that
ring.
those days are now it's
If I
nostalgia.
if I
I knew
do
to bring my
want
own pillow. So I didn't bring my own
Nostalgia. I think that's what it is now.
to have some,
And I saw this.
We will work on the hot water. Sorry about that, guys.
yeah,
They added like a little jungle area now.
yeah.
They added like
Oh my god, I still have that video that Bobby.
Can't read.
Yeah, I
Um,
still have it. That's
I think
fun.
for overall net though, it was a positive experience that transformed your experience of even Brownsville. Some of y'all didn't even know that Camp Rio existed. Did it? Did y'all not?
It did. I didn't know there was a camp in Brownsville.
Same.
Camp Rio.
Yeah.
It was like all I remember was like is another camp that's out of the town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Camp Rio.
I want to play the games again.
That's the Spider-Man. That's the Spider-Man for sure.
I'm gonna mess up on purpose.
Same. I'm
It's a
gonna
good
mess
thing.
up on purpose just for everyone to like
It's like
slap it.
nobody cared. I was 230, not 230, but like I feel like I was 220 or 230 at that time. So
Communication goes a long way. I remember Tiana saying, "Hey, it's a small jump. Small jump. Damn."
Genesis loved it. I remember that she wanted to go again.
So
Truly.
as y'all can see, there's a lot of stories that we can continue sharing. But we just really are thankful for our alumni for showing up and then continuing to like spread the word. If you run into any of these leaders in the community, feel free to come up to them, ask them more information, get to know them, find out what they're up to. They're up to really cool things, and see how we can possibly grow what we're trying to do so that in Brownsville, it's not just about big tech coming in, but it's about real leaders being fostered inside of that community, inside of that city, inside of this city. So I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next slide.
Nice.
So here's the logistics. We believe that people value things when they put some skin in the game. So our deadline to apply, which has no cost, there's no cost to apply. I think there's a personality test that we'll ask you to take called the Strengths Finder. It costs $25. You can take that after you go through the program or after you get accepted. But There is no cost to the apply, and there's no cost to the actual program. This program is valued at $5,000. So it's a high ticket item, and we only have so many slots to admit into the program. So my question or my request to you all is to make sure you don't delay, you don't wait, because time does go by fast. And we want to make sure that we bring in the best of the best of Brownsville so that you can join the ranks of these amazing leaders that we're cultivating here in Brownsville today. So what do you need to apply? You need a resume. What if you don't have a resume? Reach out to one of the alumni here, and we can talk to you and support you in that process to figure out how to get your resume up to snuff. Two, we need a personal statement. Why? Because we want to know who you are, and we want to make sure that we're kind of hearing your heart, and we know that you really want to be in the program. And finally, we need a recommendation letter. Now, this is sometimes that gets people like stuck, like, oh my God, who am I going to ask for a recommendation letter? It can be a personal or professional recommendation letter. Leadership is often about building a cohort or a backing of supporters that have your back. So this is a leadership exercise as well. So we're asking you to go out there and find people who believe in you and who are willing to co-sign, and they say that you should be part of this program. And they can share a little bit about what they've seen early in your career to make that happen. Reach out to them sooner than later so that you can give them time, because people are busy. So if you see this info session video, if you hear about it, please go ahead and reach out if you have any questions. Get started on it. We see a lot of people go to the website, they start their application, and then just leave it there and they don't finish it. We want you to actually hit the submit button and get your application across. If you get your application across, chances are high that you'll probably get a call back from us. And then you'll get a scheduled interview where we get to actually know you. And in that interview, we'll go through a little bit more deeper questions to make sure you're a good fit for the program. And if you do make it, you guys score great on the interview, then you get accepted into the program and you get to be part of the third cohort of the Frontera Leadership Institute. So it's a really exciting program, and we really want you to be part of it. So if you're interested, you can easily contact us at elements.org. This is our email address. You can follow us on social media at Frontera Leadership. That's our website, fronteraleadership.org. And we really want to thank the Brownsville Community Improvement Corporation. They're the ones that are sponsoring this program for free at no cost to you all, whoever gets accepted, because they want to believe in the future of Brownsville, and they want to invest in local talent that stays here and is willing to dig their heels and actually make the city the amazing jewel that it is. So without further ado, I want to thank you for being part of it, and I want to turn it over back to the alumni and see if there's any last comments you want to share or you want to leave us with.
I've been using the skills taught in this program not only in the business that I'm building, but in a lot of local nonprofits and organizations. I've used the skills to help support them because there's a lot of leadership skill that really helps improve the programs we have here. And from those programs, I was able to connect with more organizations across the entire Rio Grande Valley, and we're able to actually help and support more and more people because of it. And it was thanks to the skills that I learned through this program. Another thing is I'm helping support local political campaigns because I am making my steps to become a local leader here in the community. So there's different uses of these skills, not just in the entrepreneurial sense, but in the doing something for your society sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I've still used, yeah, same with Martin. I'm using the same skills for school. It's a bit easier now. It is so easy, except the money part, but other than that, which Ruben, I feel like in this third cohort you should talk about money more. Just so, like about finances, because it was really hard for me, but other than that, it improves my vocabulary a little bit more and speech impediment. Like it actually helped me a little bit.
Don't worry, confidence.
Huh?
Confidence.
Oh, and confidence. Okay.
Yes.
But yeah.
The to this day, it excites me going over some of the material that has been taught as a refresher, and it just gets me excited while building the business and the idea and dream that I have for my business, because I understand following those rules, those guidelines, and the information, that is something that's not just a dream, it's reality. It's possible. They're just building blocks at this point, and you're building it slowly but surely, and being able to tell others the same thing, that that your dreams are achievable, especially a lot of businesses here who feel like they're struggling, that just take time and just educate yourself. Education, and I tell them a little bit and get their, I guess, their morale boosted a little bit, because I like to tell them what I've experienced within this program, and to tell them like there's more to it than just making money,
Yeah.
money. There's more. There's always more than that, and it can be a little complicated, but once you see the actual like puzzle pieces going into place, it is truly beautiful. And it, honestly, the information that I learned is just, I love giving it out. I'm very expressive when I do it, because it's like it helps people. It sparks a fire in people. I know it does, and that's all that's needed for people to change and to grow.
The last first Friday I went last month, it impacted so big. There's a lot more businesses. I don't think that's a good thing. Why? Because I feel like Brownsville is now becoming a more business aspect for only wanting money and not actually seeing it in a big improvement. I saw a lot of vendors that are actually mid teenagers with their mom, and they would tell me that they would need it for things that they need. So they would only do it for money wise, but at the same time, they don't see the business aspect of the definition of that. So I feel like Frontera Leadership Institute, if you join, you would actually know the real definition of business instead of just money.
Yeah.
Because right now, Brownsville, I understand they want to
Get that.
help and stuff, but I see it as like they just want the money.
With due time, everyone's blinded at first.
Yeah.
I was. But now that when you see a different perspective, you're able to teach it to us with due time.
Heart-centered business.
Not gonna lie, I kind of want to like, push my dad to go to Frontera, but he's old. So
Honestly,
I can't.
I met someone today
I
that
can't,
he would be
so-
perfect, but he's like 46. I'm like, damn, bro, you're like 20 years too old.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
We might make a version that supports that community. So that's one number one feedback I've gotten is that more people want this. So
Yes.
the biggest thing is if you're seeing this and you're like, oh, I don't qualify and beyond the age, please still reach out to us. The more names we collect, the more we have proof that this is wanted in a older demographic, and we might be able to provide y'all with a solution, hopefully within the next year or so. But in the meanwhile, we'll stay on topic and we'll make sure that we have a phenomenal cohort starting in January. I think it's January 23rd. We'll be starting on that Friday. And we want you all to participate and be part of this amazing third cohort and be surrounded by two cohorts that have already been through it and get the support that you need. And really hope put Brownsville not just on the map of like commerce, but on the map of transformative leadership. So thank you so much. My name again is Ruben Cantu. I am the CEO of Elements and Executive Director of the Frontera Leadership Institute. It's been an honor and pleasure to be with you during this info session, and we look forward to hearing from you. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
Love you, Ruben.
Bye.